Good day to all science students. In this video lesson, we are going to tackle the topic about quarter 2, week 2 of Science 8, Understanding Atoms and Their Subatomic Particles. For day 1, structure of the atom, nucleus, and electron shells. So for objectives, identify the parts of an atom and describe their general structure. Draw a simple atom model, example carbon, labeling the nucleus and electron shells. And appreciate the complexity and design of atoms in making up everything around us. So for activity, let us answer first these questions. The scientist who proposed that electrons orbit the nucleus in specific energy levels or shells. Okay, the answer is Niels Bohr. So ginamitan po yan ng mathematical equation. Plus 8 equals 14. So 14 in alphabetical arrangement is letter N. So that is Niels Bohr. The total number of electrons in a neutral atom is always equal to the number of these subatomic particles. Okay, the answer is proton. So 16, letter P. The outermost electron shell of an atom responsible for chemical bonding and reactivity. Okay, valence shell, yung pinakalabas na shell ng atom. The rule is stating that atoms tend to be more stable with 8 electrons in their valence shell. Okay, octet rule. The maximum number of electrons that the K shell can hold. Okay, 2. The type of ion formed when an atom gains an electron. Okay, negative ion or anion. A visual model that shows electrons arranged in energy levels around the nucleus, often compared to planets orbiting the sun. Okay, that is Bohr model. The group of elements in the periodic table with naturally full valence shells, making them chemically stable. Okay, noble gas or stable gases. The simplified atomic diagram that represents only the valence electrons of an atom. Okay, Lewis symbol or the Lewis dot notation. The energy shell represented by the symbol 1n, which is closest to the nucleus. Okay, that is the K shell or the first main energy level. Okay, let us watch this, the model of the hydrogen atom. Ayan, pinakita po dyan yung energy levels, yung orbit. Itong mga orbits na to. Okay, imagine you are helping your little sibling with their science homework. They ask, what does an atom look like? So, instead of just explaining, you decide to draw a simple atom model. So, mas madaling ipaliwanag through illustration to help them understand or visualize what atom is. Today, you will do the same by drawing and labeling your own atom. Have you ever wondered what makes up the things around you? From your pencil to your own body, everything is made of atoms. And understanding their structure helps us see how matter behaves. Before we explore how electrons move and why elements react differently, let us start by visualizing what an atom looks like. So it is very important for us to visualize atom because atom is very small that cannot be seen by our naked eye. So in 1913, Danish physicist Niels Bohr proposed an early model of the atom in which a central nucleus composed of protons and neutrons is orbited by electrons arranged in specific energy levels or electron shells. Each shell represents a fixed distance from the nucleus and corresponds to a particular energy level designated by a number in the symbol N. Example, N is equals to 1 or the first shell or the first energy level. Yung first shell po, tandaan natin, the first main energy level, ito yung pinaka-close or the closest to the nucleus. And then N is equals to 2, this is the second energy level or the second shell. Okay, in electrically neutral atoms, the number of electrons is always equals to the number of protons. Tandaan po natin ito, kapag sinabing neutral atom, the number of proton is always equal to the number of electron. Kung yan po ay hydrogen, 1 proton, 1 electron. That is neutral atoms, which is also the atomic number. So tandaan po natin, the atomic number corresponds to the number of proton. So kung sa periodic table of elements po naka-arrange is number 1 hydrogen, yun ang kanyang atomic number, meaning yun ang kanyang proton, yun din ang kanyang electron. Ang sunod is helium 2 atomic number, that is the number of each proton. So dalawang proton niya, dalawa din ang kanyang electron. Kasi nga, when you say electrically neutral atom, the number of electron is always equal to the number of proton. Therefore, each neutral element has an electron count equal to its atomic number. So, ito po yung tinatawag natin na shells, itong nakaikot na to na orbit. Itong 1n, ito po yung first energy level, second n, second energy level, third energy level. So, sa iba pong tawag is shell. The first shell, second shell, third shell. Yung pinakamalapit po, yun yung first, itong 1n. So, the Bohr model shows electrons orbiting the nucleus in shell with fixed distances. So, electrons typically occupy the lowest available energy level or the ground state, which is closest to the nucleus. However, energy from a photon can excite an electron to a higher level. Kung ang electron po ay nasa first main energy level at naka-absorb yan ng energy through photon, pwede siyang malipat sa higher energy level. Ang tawag po doon is excited state or excited electron. This excited state is unstable and the electron usually returns to its ground state, releasing energy in the process. Pwede po siyang bumalik dun sa dati niyang ground state or sa dati niyang energy level once na ma-release niya or matanggal sa kanya yung energy na na-absorb niya. So, Bohr diagrams. The Bohr diagrams visually represent electrons orbiting the nucleus in defined shells, similar to how planets orbit the sun. Each shell can hold a specific maximum number of electrons. For example, the K shell or the first energy level, n is equals to 1, ang maximum niya lang po na pwedeng i-hold is 2. Ang tanong, pwede ba siyang mag-hold ng 3? Hindi po. Isa, pwede. Isa at 2, yun lang pwede niya. Ang maximum, pinakamarami, is only 2 electrons. Yun lang ang capacity ng K shell or the first energy level. Ulit po, yung first energy level, yung pinakamalapit sa nucleus. Okay, the L shell or the second energy level, up to 8 electrons na po ang kaya niyang i-handle. And then M shell is up to 18 electrons. Later on po malalaman niyo kung bakit yan ganyan ang pattern, 2, 8, 18. So may mga laman pa po kasi yan na tinatawag ng mga orbitals. So mas malalim pa pong lesson yun. So dito na muna tayo. So ito po yun. Below are examples of Bohr diagrams for different elements. For example po, lithium. Kung titingnan natin ang lithium, ang arrangement po niya sa periodic table of element, o hydrogen, helium, lithium, number 3 siya. So meaning, nakalagay dito plus 3, tatlo ang kanyang proton na nasa nucleus. At ito namang dots na to na nasa labas ay yung kanyang electron. Mapapansin nyo po dito sa unang bilog, ito yung K shell or the first energy level, 2 electron. And yung nasa labas na shell, 1. So, bali 3 din ang kanyang electron. 3 proton, 3 electron. Sa fluorine, tingnan nyo po, number 9 ang fluorine sa arrangement sa periodic table of element. So, ang kanyang proton is siyam din nasa loob ng nucleus. At pansinin nyo po, yung sa first energy level, 2 lang ulit kasi hanggang 2 lang ang pwedeng ilaman sa kanya. And then, dun sa second energy level niya, we have 2, 4, 6, 7. I-plus natin yan, 7 plus 2 yung nasa first energy level, siyam din ang kanyang electron. Kapag pinagsama po, 9 electron negative and 9 positive proton, neutral yon. So, tinatawag na neutral, electrically neutral atom. So, ang aluminum naman po, tingnan nyo ang aluminum, 13. So, sa arrangement ulit po ng periodic table of element, yung atomic number niya is 13, meaning 13 ang kanyang proton and 13 din ang kanyang electron. Ayun, pansinin nyo po sa second energy level, sa L shell, 8 na ang laman na electron. And then sa aluminum, dito po sa third energy level, umabot na siya sa third energy level kasi hindi nakasya dito yung 13. Kasi ang kaya lang ilaman sa second energy level is 8, sa first is 2, meaning 10 pa lang doon sa first and second energy level. And then yung 3 po ay nasa labas na or nasa pinakalabas na shell. Ang tawag po pala dito sa pinakalabas na shell, outermost shell, ay tinatawag na valence shell. At yung electrons na nandyan po sa valence shell, ang tawag naman po dyan ay valence electron. Pag sinabing valence electron, the outermost electron, o the electron located in the outermost shell. Pag sinabing valence shell, the outermost shell or outermost energy level. Ito po yung pinakapaliwanag doon sa yung nasa diagram na sa picture na yun. O lithium, 3 electrons, configuration niya is K2, 2 yun sa first energy level and 1 electron sa second energy level. And fluorine, 2 rin ang kanyang first energy level and 7 sa second energy level or sa L shell. So, pag pinagsama nyo po yun, 2 plus 7, that is 9 electrons. Aluminum, 13 electrons. So, tatlo na ang kanyang energy level. We have KLM. Yung K, dalawa lang. L, 8. And then sa M, 3. So, electrons fill shells in a specific order, beginning with the shell closest to the nucleus. The octet rule states that atoms are most stable when their outermost shell, also called valence shell, contains 8 electrons, except for the first shell, which is full with just 2. Yan, tanda po natin, kapag sinabing stable atom, ang dapat niya, outermost shell niya, or kanyang valence shell, may laman na 8 electrons. Kapag 8 ang electrons, ang tawag doon is stable, or tinatawag natin na noble gas. Ano po? Kumbaga doon sa periodic table of elements natin, yung nasa pinakadulong side sa kanan ng yung side na yun ang tinatawag na mga noble gases. Ang laman po ng kanilang valence shell ay 8. Except lang po doon yung helium. Ang helium kasi, 2 lang naman ang capacity niya. So, hindi siya pwedeng mag-8. Pero kasama siya doon sa stable element or sa noble gases kasi nga siya ay, kumbaga, yung first energy level niya na 2, maximum na abot niya na. Ito pa yung mga sample nung nasa group 18, nasa pinakadulo ng periodic table of element. Kasi kung titingnan natin yun pong tinatawag natin na column, itong pababa, ang group ang tawag dyan or family. Ito namang row, itong period, itong patagilid na ganyan. So yung nasa group 18, ang tawag dyan is noble gases. Ang ibang tawag is stable gas. Ang iba is inert gases, meaning sila ay stable. Kung titingnan natin, ayan, itong helium, 2 ang kanyang valence shell, valence electron. Maximum lang yun. Ito lang po yung exempted doon sa 8 na sinasabi doon sa octet rule, na dapat ay 8 ang kanyang valence electron. So lahat po yan dito pababa, neon, argon, 8 ang pinakalabas na shell niyan. 8 po ang pinakalabas na electron ng pinakalabas na shell. Ang tinatawag natin na valence electron ay 8. Babalikan natin yung picture na yun. Helium has full first shell with 2 electrons, very stable. And neon has a full second shell with 8 electrons, also very stable. Itong neon, 8. And chlorine, tingnan niyo po ang chlorine. Ito yung chlorine, nasa group 17. Chlorine has 7 electrons in the outermost shell. Unstable tends to gain 1 electron. Para maging stable si chlorine, ilan ang kailangan niya? Kulang siya ng 1. Kasi 7 lang ang kanyang outermost shell. Ang tendency po is mag-gain siya o mag-absorb ng 1 electron to become stable. At tingnan niyo naman po si sodium, itong Na. Dito sa group 1, ang outermost shell niya may laman lang na 1 electron. Ano po? So, ang tendency para siya ay maging stable, ibibigay niya, ilulus niya yung 1 electron na yon, and then magiging pinakalabas na lang ito, 8. Ano po? So, kumbaga ay ilulus niya yung 1 electron na yon para maging stable siya. Para sa dagdag kaalaman po wala natin, yung groupings, yung group 1A, group 1B, ganun. Kung anong group siya involved, yun ang nag-identify rin ng kanyang valence electron, kung ilang yung outermost electron. At ito naman pong period, kapag kabilang sa period 1, yan ang nag-identify naman kung gaano karami ang orbit or ang shell or yung energy level. Pansinin nyo po, yung hydrogen 1 lang ang kanyang energy level. Ang helium ganun din kasi magkasama sila sa isang period. Ganun din itong period to, tingnan nyo. Lahat yan, yung lithium, carbon, fluorine, neon, tigda 2 ang shell or main energy level. So group 3 ganun din, tingnan nyo po, 3 ang kanyang shell kasi nasa period 3 sila. Okay, atoms gain or lose electrons to achieve a full valence shell, resulting in the formation of ions. So atoms that lose electrons become positively charged ions. Siyempre, kung dati neutral siya, halimbawa yung sodium, neutral, 11 ang proton, 11 ang electron. Para maging stable siya, ipapamigay niya yung 1, ilulus niya yung electron na 1. So ang magiging electron niya na lang is 10. So ang proton niya is 11, magiging siyang positive 1 or positively charged ion. Ang tawag po sa positively charged ion is cation, meaning mas lamang ang proton. Yun, ito na nga example is sodium. Atoms that gain electrons become negatively charged ion. Yung nag-absorb, halimbawa yung fluorine, kulang na lang siya ng 1. Or chlorine, kulang na lang siya ng 1 electron para maging stable. Kasi 7 ang kanyang valence electron. kapag nag-absorb siya ng isa, masosobrahan yung kanyang electron compared doon sa proton. So, ang tawag na po sa kanya is negatively charged ion kasi lamang na yung negative subatomic particle. Ang tawag sa kanya pag negatively charged is anion. So, this behavior helps explain the arrangement of elements in the periodic table. Elements in the same group, vertical column, typically have the same number of electrons in their outermost shell. Yung sinabi ko nga po, yung magkakasama sa group 1A, yung hydrogen pababa, lahat yon tig-iisa ang kanyang valence electron. And therefore, share similar chemical properties. So, Lewis symbol are simplified versions of Bohr diagrams. They only represent valence electrons, those in the outermost shell, using dots placed under the element symbol. These symbols are useful for predicting chemical bonding and reactivity. So, ito po yung example ng Lewis dot notation. So, ito pong tuldok na to, ito yung nagre-represent ilan ang kanyang valence electron, yung pinakalabas ng electron na nasa valence shell. Kagaya nitong hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium. Belong sila sa group 1A. Lahat sila tig-iisa lang ang kanilang valence electron. Isang dots lang din. Ito namang nasa 2A pababa, beryllium, magnesium, and calcium, dalawa ang dots, meaning dalawa ang kanyang outermost electron or kanyang valence electron. 3A, tatlo, 4A, 4, 5A, 5 ang dots, 6A, 6, 7A, 7. And yung noble gases, yung tinatawag natin na mga kompleto na, so neon, argon, tingnan nyo, 8 na ang kanyang valence electron. Maliban nga lang sa helium, kasi ang helium, hanggang 2 lang naman talaga ang capacity niya. So, kaya, ang tawag dito sa ibang noble gases, ibang tawag is unreactive. Ayan, draw the nucleus. Ang kaibahan lang, maglalagay kayo ng nucleus, i-label nyo yun, anong pangalan nun, gamitan nyo ng arrow. And then, yung neutron, nasa loob din yan ng nucleus. Ang nucleus may laman po na proton and neutron. Represented, ang proton po is positive, ang neutron is neutral or zero. And then, draw electron shells rings around the nucleus. So, dalawa ang shell niya ng carbon. Okay, place and label the electrons in the correct shell. Carbon 2 in K and 4 in L. So, dalawa ang kanyang energy level or ang kanyang shell. Label all parts certainly, nucleus, electron shells, protons, neutrons, and electrons. Okay. So, sagutan po natin itong mga questions regarding our discussion. Who proposed the model of the atom with electrons orbiting in shells? Niels Bohr, Ernest Rutherford, J.J. Thomson, Albert Einstein. Okay, the answer is Niels Bohr. In a neutral atom, the number of electrons is equal to the number of blank. Neutron, proton, shells, orbital. Okay, proton. What is the maximum number of electrons that the K shell can hold? Pag sinabi natin K, ito yung first energy level closest to the nucleus. 8, 18, 2, 10. Okay, 2. What term refers to the outermost electron shell of an atom? Yung pinakalabas na shell, anong tawag doon? Ground state shell, first shell, core shell, valence shell. Okay, yung pinakalabas na shell or energy level, ang tawag po is valence shell, the outermost. According to the octet rule, how many electrons make a full outer shell, excluding the first shell? 2, 6, 8, 10. Okay, the answer is 8. To achieve stability po yun. What happens when an electron absorbs energy from a photon? It moves to a higher energy level or a higher energy shell. It is destroyed. It moves to a lower energy shell or energy level. It stays in the ground state. The answer is, it moves to a higher energy shell or level. Which of the following is true about noble gases like neon and argon? Yung mga kompleto na. They have incomplete outer shells. They easily lose electron. They are highly reactive. They have full valence shell. Okay, the answer is they have full valence shells. What is the electron configuration of fluorine? Okay, number ano po yan? 9. So, K, sa K shell, unang shell is 2. Sa pangalawang shell is 6. So, 8 lang po yan. Next is K 2 electron and L is 7 electron. Okay, the answer is letter B. Okay, when an atom gains an electron, it becomes, yun, nag-absorb siya ng electron kasi kulang siya ng isang electron para maging stable. Becomes a proton, a positively charged ion, a negatively charged ion, a neutral atom. So, ang idinagdag niya sa kanya ay electron that is negative. So, sobrang kanyang negative, magiging siyang negatively charged ion or ay tawag is anion. What do Lewis symbol represent? The nucleus and neutrons, all electrons in an atom, only valence electrons, energy levels in atoms. Okay, it represents only valence electrons. Kapag dots ang ginamit, Lewis dot notation, it represents the number of valence electron. Yung electrons na nasa valence shell or pinakalabas na shell.